this next matchup is really interesting, and this might have been a poor job by the committee, which was me. But anyway, Thomas, what's the next matchup?
One man committee.
That's right.
This fight is gonna be epic. John Mecom against Phillips.
All right. So here's the case for John
It
Mecom.
is going to be epic.
He bought the Saints with his dad's money at the age of 26. And he hired and fired.
Just living. Can we just all take a moment and just imagine for ourselves
the 26
that we're 26 and
you want to talk about bougie?
Yeah, and our dad just gives us enough money to buy an NFL team.
Here's $6 million, kid. Go buy a team. Knock yourself out.
8.5.
Oh, it's $8.5 million.
Yeah.
So it was $8.5 million, which that's like $1 billion in 19.
I mean, in hindsight, I'm glad it happened.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
I just did the inflation calculator. $8.5 million in January of 1967 is worth $78.5 million today.
Wow.
Well, you
So
couldn't
he really-
afford a football team with that.
That's right.
No.
So John Mecom, here's what he did that was dumb. Hired and fired 7 coaches from 1967 and 1985.
Ball game. Let's go.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
So
Tulane,
he did that.
if they don't win 9 games, they should run roughshod through that conference.
So, and here's the thing that Thomas just put on the screen. Dave, he hired an actual astronaut to be GM. Dick Gordon, Apollo 12 or some.
Yeah, I know Dick Gordon. He's in.
Dick Gordon.
What was that book that they?
So
Right Stuff?
Yes.
the right. So he hired Dick Gordon, great astronaut, great American, terrible person to have run your football team. Saints never had a winning season. Fans invented the bags on the heads because they were so terrible.
Who would have thought? Knowing about things in space does not equate to owning a football
So
team.
that's John Mecom. Dumb. Bum Phillips, Andrew, though, he decided that he was going to create the Oilers East after getting fired from Houston. He traded Archie Manning for Leon Gray, who was terrible. He signed 100-year-old drunk Kenny Stabler to be his quarterback after getting rid of Archie Manning. And he gave away a first-round pick for washed-up Earl Campbell. Look at Kenny Stabler looks like your grandpa after a workout that's going to kill him. Like, that, look, that is just it. So this one is really difficult for me, Kevin, because I have a soft spot for Bum Phillips because he did a lot of dumb things for the Saints, but he also had the 1980 draft for the Saints, which was amazing. Drafted Vaughn Johnson, drafted Mel Gray in the.
Well, what are the negative talking points for Bum Phillips? Because you just spent this entire time talking.
I
about
told you the negatives. He traded Archie Manning, Saints icon. He gave away a first-round pick for Earl Campbell. Signed.
Was Archie Manning any good?
Shame on you, Dave. Go to Wikipedia. Shame. Archie Manning.
I mean, I'm
Archie
being serious.
Manning.
Like for the Saints,
Andrew
for the
doesn't
Saints,
know football.
was he any good?
I mean,
Well, let me rephrase
he
that.
had things working against him.
Stop. Let me rephrase this question. Okay, let's pretend we're in a courtroom. Okay, and you're on the stand.
Oh my God.
When Archie Manning was quarterback of the Saints, did they have a winning record?
No, they did not. They went 8-1.
No, stop! I asked you a question. When Archie Manning was quarterback of the Saints, did they have a winning record?
They did not. Jason Champagne said Archie had Hall of Fame sperm.
Stop talking. So let me ask you a question. So what's so terrible about trading a quarterback who doesn't have a winning record?
You traded him for an offensive lineman who you made the highest paid offensive lineman in NFL history, and he only played 3 games for you. That's what's bad.
Let me ask you a question. How many assets, list the assets that any other future Saints coaches have gotten out of quarterbacks that don't have winning records?
I can't.
I'll wait.
Archie. All the old people in the chat are going to savage you, Dave. Slandering Archie Manning like that.
Look, and I'm not an old head. I wasn't around for that. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to look at it from a statistical, analytical,
Jason Champagne.
mathematical. perspective.
Yeah, Jason Champagne, R.J. Manning had a Hall of Fame sperm. That is an undisputable fact.
Jesus.
So I'm voting John Mecom because John Mecom, not only did he run the Saints into the ground, he wanted to move them to Jacksonville. People forget about that. He was thinking of moving them to Jacksonville. They went on a sightseeing mission to Jacksonville. So I vote John Mecom in this one. Kevin, who are you voting for?
All right, so I did the math. He bought the team for $8.5 million, sold the team in 1985 to Benson for $64 million. So I checked. Hang on, let me make sure I got it again. $64 million in 1985 would be worth $180,893,000 and change in 2023.
So that's
still not enough to buy an NFL franchise.
Wow.
You could buy a share of it. However, the Bum Phillips stuff, you're not making a good. There's not a good case there with Bum Phillips. Like the guy was just out of his depth. Started making bad decisions. This is like when you see the footage of the old baseball managers like Casey Stengel and Connie Mack just getting up in age, and
that's right.
They trot them out there and wave at the crowd.
Poor
And they don't know what the hell they're doing.
The football passed him by at warp speed.
Right. It's like bringing in Hank Stram to coach the Saints. What Stram could only do so much. So forget about the coach on this one. Let's go with the team owner. Let's go with John Mecom. He gets my vote.
Andrew, who you got?
Mecom, final answer.
All right.
So Thomas. Dave.
Yeah, wait, Dave.
Mecom. Dave went Mecom. So Thomas, make it official.
Damn, that was fast.
That was fast.
And the winner is John Mecom.
There you go. So it's another one. Just this bracket is just chalk all the way through. Thomas, what's our next matchup? And by the way, John Mecom was so terrible as an owner.
Thanks for watching the Saints Happy Hour. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, then find us wherever you get your podcast, and finally go to saintshappyhour.com and become a patron of the best Saints podcast on earth.